So, if you played around with Zoom today, you probably noticed it's really a great tool for hosting e-learning sessions with your students. Um, we think that you're going to love some of the features that this program brings. And we're also aware that when we had our Zoom training in school, some of you didn't get a chance to attend because you were too busy, or there were some technical issues that day and you didn't quite get a chance to see all the features. So let's walk through them really quickly here. So we think you're gonna like these. If you look at the very bottom of the Zoom window I've got open here, go to the bottom and then all the way left. The first button you see there is mute, and that is a chance to mute sound coming from the host, from me. When you press that and you forget and you continue talking, you will get a warning. Watch this. So I'm continuing to talk, and you get that warning. It's pretty good. Um, next, right next to it, there's an arrow pointing up where you can actually choose where sound is coming out through on your computer, and where sound is going to go into as a microphone. If you've plugged in other things, or you're wearing like a AirPod, you can choose to have sound going there. You can also choose to stop your video. So that's right here. When you stop your video, your profile picture pops up. Just be aware, if you choose to present that way, it does take away a little bit of the interaction that your students might be looking for when they're having a live session with you. So kind of bear that in mind. A little white arrow next to stop video right here lets you choose which camera you're using for recording, and also a virtual background. So if your background isn't the greatest behind you, you can choose a virtual background and kind of have things looking funky or different. So I'm going to show you right here. It might ask you to download a package, which is totally fine. There we go. So so now I'm kind of floating in space. Pretty cool. Or I can be with the San Francisco Bridge behind me. Pretty neat. I'm going to choose none right now because my background is not that terrible. It's actually a painting from the mother of a friend of mine, so we're all good. Next is your choice to invite people. And as your session is actually happening, you can pull in people who are already in your list. And if they were expecting you, if they're online, you can pull them right into the meeting. You don't have to restart the meeting to finish getting all your participants in there, which is pretty handy. Down here is manage participants. Click on that, and you see how many people are in your session. For tonight's session that I'm doing, I put some fake students available here. Student sample 1 is in the guest bedroom behind me, and student sample 2 is in my wife's office, and it's like a fluffy thing on a pink chair that looks almost like a cat. So when you see all these choices over here that you've got for your active users, watch. If student sample 1 isn't behaving very well, or needs to be quiet, I can click on mute and just mute him or her. I can unmute that person later on. If everybody is kind of active right now and I'm a teacher and I need to kind of make an announcement or explain something real quick, there's this button down here called mute all, and just everybody just gets muted. And you can choose if you're going to allow participants to unmute themselves, or you don't want to give them that choice. So pretty useful tool. Actually, I wish we had that in like our real classrooms where I could just like, tap mute all and everybody's just quiet right away. You can also unmute everybody if you're done announcing what you were announcing and you want everybody back to being able to interact. You will see whoever is speaking sometimes goes up on the list of the image that's showing up. So that's pretty useful. Moving on, we've got polling. For polling, you can add a question and have a bunch of people answer that question. I think that's a pretty neat tool as well. So maybe you want to ask your students something real quick. Share screen, this one you might be more familiar with. When you click on it, you can share your desktop, or you can choose whiteboard where you actually draw and interact with this, or you can choose iPhone or an iPad via AirPlay or via a cable, and then you can just show an iPad or an iPhone and kind of demonstrate something that you need to demonstrate real quick. Your chat feature is to talk to people. So to talk to some of your students, you can chat to all of them at the same time, or you can pick which one you want to chat with. kind of fairly simple. I think nowadays everybody knows how to chat. Your record feature right here allows you to record the entire session that you're having, in case you need to show it to somebody later. Um, Given the amount, you also have a choice to record to the cloud. Now, I am advising everybody as much as we can during this um, time when we're having to move to e-learning in so many parts of the world at the same time. Servers are pretty busy and pretty bogged down. I would record videos always on your computer when you have a choice. Don't go straight to the cloud right away, because that can kind of make things slower for you unnecessarily. You want to kind of host your own stuff. You want to use your own storage on your computers at this time. It's the smartest move. Finally, you've got your reactions button. That one is to send like little cute emoticons. No big deal there. And up here, I just went up on the program there. If you click on gallery view, you can see a different view of all your students. I find that to be pretty useful too, especially when you've got a fairly large group, 5 or 8 people in there. So this is it. This is pretty much the Zoom tour of all the controls in there. If you have any questions or you want to know a little bit more about the program, feel free to contact us. We're here to help you, and we are so happy that this took off so well, and so many of you just found success with this right away. Have a good one. Oh, there is one more thing I want you to see before we go. So let's say that I'm done with my students and the meeting is over. I would click over here where it says end meeting and just click on there. If I leave meeting, which is the middle choice there, I would be removed as the host. I'm the one hosting this, so I would leave as the host. But the students would remain there and unmonitored, just kind of chatting away. You always have the choice to end meeting for all. That's what you want. End meeting for all gets everybody out of that Zoom call, and it ends it for that moment until you launch it again. That's it. I hope these tips are useful for you, and happy e-teaching.